So this hour, we're highlighting for you some newly released police interview footage of murder suspect Stephan Sterns. He's accused of murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto. And before we show you the brand new videos, we're going to get you caught up on how we got to this point in the case, because he wasn't initially charged with murder. Initially, it was charges of child sexual abuse pertaining to Madeline. Court TV's Judge Ashley Wilcott reports.
Stephan Sterns is accused of murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto, his girlfriend's daughter. Madeline went missing on the morning of February 26th, and her mother, Jennifer, spoke to WFTV the next day.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe?
Jennifer says she realized something was wrong when she went to pick Madeline up from school, and she wasn't there.
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
According to Sterns, he dropped Madeline off in a church parking lot next to her middle school. He also spoke to WFTV the day she went missing.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. So last time we saw her, she was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
Police began to suspect Sterns as they investigated and looked for Madeline. And when they examined his phone, investigators say they found videos and images of sexual abuse of Madeline.
During our forensic investigation, we uncovered disturbing evidence, graphic images, and videos depicting crimes being committed. It was during this examination that we learned we needed to act swiftly to remove the suspect, Stephan Sterns, from our streets.
2 days after Madeline went missing, Sterns was arrested and charged with 60 child sex crimes. On March 1st, Madeline's body was found in a wooded area off of a 2-lane road, 40 minutes from where Madeline lived with her mom and Sterns. And on April 24th, Sterns was charged with first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty.
The evidence shows an individual that was entrusted to keep Madeline safe, made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing.
Investigators say Madeline was never dropped off or near her school. Surveillance video allegedly shows Sterns returning to the family's apartment complex the morning she disappeared, with Madeline visible in the car. Detectives believe she was already dead.
We know this case has gained significant public attention because Madeline had just celebrated her 13th birthday and was just a child. The indictment signifies a crucial step forward in our quest for justice.
It's such an upsetting case, this is. Now, we're going to show you those newly released video pieces. This video evidence of Stephan Sterns talking with investigators. In this first clip we're going to look at, he's talking to police about the birthday party for Madeline. Remember, she just celebrated her birthday. This is before she went missing. Take a look.
I know that you were brought up here by detectives, right? Detectives drove you? Okay. And that was earlier today.
I have no idea how long ago that was.
It was sometime today.
Sometime today, correct.
So being that you're here, we're here, you were taken here by detectives, I just need to get this out of the way just so we can talk about how we're or where she may be, okay? All right. Have you ever been in trouble ever in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had your rights read to you at any point in your life?
I must have.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm going to do them again just to get it out of the way, and then we can talk about school and stuff like that, okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. Do you understand these rights? Okay, perfect. All right. So before we start talking, one last thing. Can you just raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth, to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So you had a birthday. recently? She had a birthday party Sunday? Is that right?
Sunday, yeah.
Okay. Did you come to the party?
No, I was not. I was on my way up at that point.
Okay. So the party ends. Did you pick them up from the party?
Someone must have dropped her off.
Okay.
She was there when I got there. Jen asked me to make sure that the shower and did her bedtime routines, which she did. She was already on top of it, so nothing to do there.
Okay. What time do you think you got back in Kissimmee?
What time I got into Kissimmee?
Yeah.
Maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30ish, something like that.
And I apologize if you've answered these questions before. It's just like I said, we're coming into the game late, so I may ask you things that you've already answered probably 3 or 4 times.
Well, I apologize as well. My memory is not super reliable on time frames. I've been medicated for the better part of a week.
Okay, that's fine. What do you take medicine for?
Anxiety mostly. I've been having some money troubles lately. Anxious over that, so.
Okay, well, hopefully your money troubles get better.
I've been medicated on Ativan since probably Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so when you got to Kissimmee and you got to the apartment, what happened? Like,
made some dinner, made some ramen. I love how I make my ramen. Then we started watching Sister Act, but it was time for her to start getting ready. Basically, just as we were starting Sister Act.
okay.
And that was just about bedtime.
What time is bedtime?
Usually 10:30, 11ish,
Okay.
something like that. It's a spectrum, not a set time.
Mm-hmm. Then, so who's going through the bedtime routine? Because I know Jennifer said she has somewhat of a little routine too that she does. Is it her? Are you talking about?
Jennifer's routine is taking her meds, eating some food so that she can have the proper calories for the meds. And then she's got about an hour to do whatever she needs to do because she needs to fall asleep at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Her bedtime routine is taking her bedtime meds, brushing her hair. She should have showered that night. And then she goes to bed as well. Usually with some bombs or something on in the background. Bombs, burgers.
Got it. What are the sleeping arrangements?
She sleeps in her.
Okay. Did she sleep in her bed Sunday night?
No. I was just back. I had been away for a couple months. We in the same bed together, so we get some serious sleep. So she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had a big enough bed. So some snuggle cuddle time that would suffice, and Jen would get to sleep in peace.
Okay. So you say snuggle time. What does that mean?
Like to be alone. She's extremely dependent. She does not like to be alone at all. She needs human presence around her, basically.
Gotcha.
We've been trying to wean her off of that, but it's been difficult.
All right, so Jennifer says go up, so snuggle time with you to help her go to sleep. Is that right?
Just bedtime, yeah.
Bedtime. Okay. Did you stay in the room the entire night?
Not the entire night. I'm usually up and down sometimes. So I might go grab a drink or something, or I'm up and down sometimes.
Gotcha. But you stayed. You didn't at any point go. Okay. All right. So night goes on. Morning time comes around and it's school. Walk me through that a little bit.
Excuse me. Morning routine. She usually starts waking up. We set about 3 alarms. The first one goes off and we let her keep snoozing.
you remember what time her alarm goes off? Or what?
Not really. Maybe 7:30ish. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Alarm goes off. We let her snooze about 3 times while we start getting ourselves ready. And after the 3rd snooze, it's time for her to get up for real and start getting ready. Typically, she will have showered the night before, so she needs to brush her hair, brush her teeth, excuse me, get her book bag together, eat some breakfast if she's going to eat there, and then we eventually make our way out the door.
Okay. So walk me through, like, you leave, you take her to school in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of car do you have?
It's a Lincoln. It's actually my parents' car because my car is down south. It needs maintenance, and we're scared of driving too much. So I'm driving a Lincoln right now. Got out early. The plan was to get some McDonald's on the way. So we got out nice and early.
Do you remember what time you left, roughly?
Not 100% certain.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My memory has not been super reliable.
No, that's fine.
But it was early. Maybe 7:30, 7:45, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not certain.
That's fine.
The plan
Was Jennifer awake when you guys left?
semi-awake. I was giving her updates as we were going along. Getting ready, she's getting dressed. We're leaving now. Goodbye. But she was sleeping in, so I was just giving her little updates and poking my head in as we went. But we leave the house. We start making our way to the school. Most of the time, we make our way over towards her school area. I ask her if she's still in the mood for McDonald's. She says no. She doesn't want it anymore. Okay. Continued on. It was still pretty early though, I think. We still had some time to kill. It wasn't really time to drop her off yet. I had apparently forgotten my clicker key fob for the gate. So I ended up actually turning around at some point and going back to the community to get the clicker. I had to use my parking sticker to get in for the guy to scan. I had some errands to run afterwards, and I wanted to have my phone. But we still had plenty of time as far as I knew. So we did that, grabbed the clicker, left again. And that's when we drove over to her school area, and I dropped her off where I dropped her off.
Okay. Do you remember where you dropped her off?
Yeah, it was the stretch of road. I forget there's a street name. It was the stretch of road that the school is on. Make a right onto it. It goes down a little ways. There's some communities over here, and then up further there's a church, and then there's the overpass and the school on the other side of the overpass right there. I dropped her off on that stretch where the communities are.
Was she by herself when you dropped her, or was her friends there?
Yeah, she was by herself. She said she was going to go find her friends and hang out, wait for them to show up.
Okay.
It was still early.
Where did you go after that? Like, did you see her walk towards the...
I saw her making her way towards the direction of the school, but she was like kind of shuffle steps. She was meandering her way there. She was rummaging through her backpack for something. I assumed she was looking for headphones maybe. But as it turns out, she did leave her phone at home that day, so she might have actually been looking for her phone.
Gotcha, okay. What was she wearing when she left, or when you dropped her off?
Green hoodie, black shorts, black or blue, black shorts, white Crocs.
White Crocs. Okay.
Still to come here on Court TV Live, what Stephan Sterns says happened when he dropped Madeline off at school. We now know that's a big fat lie. We're going to watch more of this police interview together next as Court TV Live continues on this Monday morning. It is so great to have you with us on this Monday morning. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We're showing you some newly released video of police interviewing murder suspect Stephan Sterns. So this guy's accused of murdering his girlfriend's daughter, 13-year-old Madeline Soto. There's her mom in that video right there, Jennifer Soto. She is not charged, but she could be, depending on what the investigation uncovers. In this video clip you're about to see, Stephan Sterns is telling police about the morning he dropped Madeline off at school. But we know now that Madeline's school said that she never made it to class.
All right, so she's walking towards the school. Do you continue straight when you leave, or do you turn around?
I turned around and went back the other way. I was watching her in my rearview mirror. And she was going the right direction, so it looked okay.
And where did you go after that?
The next stop I wanted to go to was the vape shop. It opened at 10, so I had a little while, so I just kind of meandered around and eventually made my way over there to wait for it to open. It didn't open when it was supposed to, so I left and came home, and went back about an hour later when I was sure it would have to be open at that point. Got what I needed there, and made my way back to home again. Relaxed and hung out with Jen for a while. Seems like any other morning.
When you got back home after school, was Jennifer home at that time?
I think she was on her way home. I think that she had a blood appointment, and we were both kind of going to arrive very shortly with some time with each other.
Okay. So when you got home, when both of you got home, walk me through the rest of the day.
Just hung out, chit-chatted. I mean, I don't know. It's not much to recollect.
Okay. But you stayed at home pretty much all day, or no?
Pretty much until maybe noon-ish or 1 o'clock. I had a few errands to run, but I wanted to be back in time for us to go. So I just ran up and down 192. Ended up getting a flat at some point, which made me late to get.
Where'd you get a flat at?
Somewhere along 192.
192 is a big road.
It is, and honestly, it all looks the same to me. So I've been asked, do you remember what plaza you were next to, what color? And I'm like, I'm ADD as it is, and I was in a medicated fog for the better part of a week. I'm lucky I remember what color I'm wearing right now.
Do you remember what errands you were running?
Yeah, I wanted to go check out some game shops.
Where were these game shops?
There's Coliseum of Comics, there's House Rule Games nearby. A lot of the Targets and Walmarts carry the game I was looking forward to. It just had a new release on Friday, so even though I don't have much in the way of money right now, I still wanted to look and see what the situation is.
It's always nice to window shop.
It is. And I'm a serial consumer. So I was just driving around, up and down 192, sort of just aimlessly, honestly. Just killing time till it was time to go back.
All right, so when you got home, did you and Jennifer leave from school?
So I got home, it was 10 minutes later than Jen had wanted to. By 10 minutes, I called her and said, hey, where are you? I'm so sorry, I got a flat. She already left. She had been gone for 10 minutes. It didn't make sense for her to come back and get me. She likes to be the first in line when the kids start coming out.
at school. So what? Did Jennifer call you after that, or what?
I was already on the phone with her while she was waiting. We were just chit-chatting. We do that. We just keep each other company, even if we're not physically together, you know. And she's... and that's when we started asking questions, you know. Did she go somewhere else? Did she know that you were going to come pick her up? Did she possibly go to her office, which has kind of been what she's been doing for the past, working a new schedule. So we started making all the calls. And no one had seen her yet. And so that's when we started getting a lot more concerned and panicked. She drove around a little more, looking for her, looking along the walking paths, and didn't see anything. Went to her. Not there, waited around, not there, went back to the school, not there. At that point, the whole family started rallying up and going to meet.
What a tangled web we weave. Now, we know the school said Madeline never made it. Let's talk about this story, though. He told investigators, I'm sure as they're sitting there, they know she never made it. Let's bring in Sunny Slaughter and ask her what she's thinking right now. Okay, Sunny, watching from afar, looking at these two subjects. I know that something we were talking about off air was that the dynamics in that room are jumping out to you with these investigators and how they're playing this with Sterns. Kind of take us there, explain to us what they're doing, please.
Thanks, Julie, for the opportunity to talk about this again. Initially, I did not see the second officer that you never hear speaking in any of the video. And it's really important because most interviews happen with two people in the room, one for safety reasons, but the other is you will notice that this interview, only one officer is speaking. And that is because somebody has to lead the interview and control the narrative and control the questions. So you don't hear them talking over one another. Also, you want a clear sound for the recording and to understand how the individual is answering. So while the one officer is asking all of the other questions, the second person is in the room and they are usually taking notes. This person is not. He's not taking actual physical notes, but he is taking notes of the things that are being said. He is calculating. He is listening intentionally to the things that are not being said, and he's making mental notes of that. There's also probably someone outside of the room that is where the mirrors are or where the recording is, and they're listening. And because you don't want to stop a person from talking, so the control setting is so that you really get the most information, which is why the interviews take time. They're slow, and on TV sometimes they're erratic, and that can happen. But in this particular case, they are trying to get to what really happened, even though they already know what that Madeline is, what they found on the phone. They need to elicit the answers so that the questions that they ask later are really fall out from and have a clear understanding, so when they take this case to the prosecution for an indictment and arrest, that they have the answers that they need to at least get that step one in. So that this is a very controlled interview, a very quiet and soft, not rattling type of interview, so they can elicit facts, because this is a missing persons and a missing child.
Yes, yes. And as you told us earlier, Sunny, making him comfortable is so key. Sometimes we see, and it looks like a detective is befriending a suspect. No, not at all. They want the suspect to think that, obviously. Want them to think so, that they're out to help them and all that jazz. But the case is no, they're trying to get the admissions. And we know they know. So that's what's really cool about being able to watch it back now together. They're going to hit him with it soon. Sunny, stand by kindly, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we'll show you more of that interview with Stephan Sterns.
Sarah Boone is charged with second-degree murder after her boyfriend suffocated inside of a suitcase.
He's in the suitcase still.
there are multiple domestic violence incidents.
You two hitting each other.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe.
George Torres locked inside of a suitcase, begging for help.
I thought he was okay.
The Suitcase Murder Trial. Live coverage starting October 7th on Court TV.
Welcome back. 13-year-old Madeline Soto was still missing when police interviewed Stephan Sterns for the first time. He said he drove her to school, but the school later said she never arrived. Here he is telling the officer about that alleged ride that took place that morning.
How was she like on the car ride there?
Just calmed down, sleeping. Sleeping along the way. She does that.
How often have you?
Not often, honestly. This might have been my third or fourth morning school run. I'm not normally the one to do it.
And on the other occasions, has she had you drop her off in and around the same location, or how does that?
She has this image thing. I guess it's, she only likes to be seen getting out of certain cars in front of the school. But I guess kind of a hoopty, and she's embarrassing, right?
Lincoln?
Nice looking Sentra. So yeah, this is not the first time she's asked me to drop her off a little ways down so she could walk up and look cool.
So you say she was conked out on the way there. You said you took her to school, or you were on her way to school, you needed to turn around to get your clicker.
Correct.
Was she sleeping then, too?
She was, yeah.
Okay.
It had been an early morning, so I figured it'd be fine to let her sleep in the car ride.
Okay. When you got back to the apartment complex, or did you go in the front gate, or because I know there's the front entrance and then the back entrance?
When I came back after forgetting my phone.
Yeah. So which way did you leave?
I would have had to go in the front.
Okay.
And the guy scanned it. And I got in and got my fob and left. I don't remember if I left out the front or the back.
Did you stop anywhere else in?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. Did you take any trash out from the apartment?
The night before, I think I did. I'm not sure. I took the trash out at some point, but I don't remember if it was the night before or it was the morning of. Yeah, sometimes we get trash bags piling up by the door to see them.
Is there like a common trash place, or like is there take their trash to?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where you took the trash out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't remember if that was Sunday night or Monday morning?
It could have been Sunday night. I don't recall. I'm sorry, I was in a fog.
Well, okay. So
supposedly they got video of her walking past the church or waiting at the church for a while and then leaving.
How's your relationship with her?
Great. I'm one of her favorite people in the world.
How old are you?
I'm 37. About to be 38.
You seem like a genuinely nice person.
I try to be.
Jennifer talks very highly of you. You know. So the morning school, when you came back, get your clicker. What was?
She wasn't saying anything. She was just asleep. She was just reclined in the chair, sleeping.
Okay, explain to me, like reclining backwards.
Just laying back in the chair. Just like that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Stephan here. I'm too old to lie to people. Too old to beat around the bush. And we seem like we're having a generally good conversation right now. Okay. The only thing that I ask for from you is, and I will reciprocate, I want you to be honest with me as much as I'm being honest with you. Okay. There's cameras in all over the place, as you can imagine. Nowadays, cameras are everywhere. Okay. So we see you coming in at the guard shack. Okay. We see you go by the dumpster. Okay.
I may have taken some trash with me then.
What was in the trash?
House trash.
House trash?
Yeah. So it must have been that morning then. We'll toss trash bags on the back seat, and wherever we're going on our way out, we'll drop that on the way. I think I may have mentioned to her before her. I'll have to double check.
Okay. Was everything in trash bags?
I'm sorry?
Was everything in trash bags, or was there any items that were just tossed along with the bag?
I think it would have been in trash bags, or maybe some boxes too. Some birthday stuff, leftovers. I can't remember exactly what.
Okay. When you for school, did she have her backpack with her?
Yes.
She did. Did she have her school computer with her?
Yes. Presumably, yes.
Presumably. Okay.
She should have.
Once again, this goes back with the whole honesty thing. There was things in that trash bag that got thrown away that probably shouldn't have been thrown away. Okay.
What?
We'll get that in a minute. But right now, our main focus is on finding. That is our number one focus right now. Okay. Do you have any idea where she may be?
No.
None whatsoever.
No.
Okay. Something may have happened. Do you think anything?
I don't think so. I don't think what could have happened.
Okay. All right. Do you know anybody that lives in St. Cloud? Do you know where St. Cloud is?
St. Cloud, that's north or south? Or?
East.
East.
East of Kissimmee.
Yeah. I haven't been out there too much. But yeah, I'm familiar with St. Cloud.
Okay. Whereabouts in St. Cloud? Like, do you know friends out there, or?
I don't have any friends really. I've driven out there a few times before. Mostly just when I'm meandering up and down 192.
Were you out there this week?
Yeah, I was out there sometime this week. Sometimes I drive, just drive and meander around and explore. And drive till I don't know where I am, and drive till I know where I am again. And I don't know, just driving, just it's peaceful sometimes.
All right.
If I got time to kill, I'll just drive around.
So you're saying when you had her backpack, presumably her school computer was in her backpack, and you described her wearing green jacket, some kind of dark colored shorts, and white Crocs. Okay. Well, I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack.
How's that?
Because we found it in the trash. So, Stephan, here's what I'm asking you and pleading with you is to dig down and do some soul searching. Okay? You understand? Family's pleading with you. I'm pleading with you because this is that we need to find. And it's, as more time goes by, it's tough. I have kids, he's got kids. And this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where. And I really, really, really think you can help us. Okay. I mean, you want to get something off your chest. I don't know what it is, but I'm pleading with you.
I don't know. I don't.
What happened?
I dropped her off.
Where?
I dropped her off on the road to school. That was the last I saw her.
Sometime throughout the night on Sunday, did you guys have any interaction, conversations?
What, like fight?
No, I'm not saying fight. I'm just... Did you guys sit up and talk, or...?
We talked while I was making ramen. She was excited about her choir performance coming up. She was singing a little bit. I told her it was pretty. It reminded me of Sister Act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about a crush she had on a boy.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. She knows she's not old enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush. That's healthy.
Do you think, has she had any boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, like boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was too young and needed to avoid that BS.
All right, being that she's too young, so she shouldn't be having sex with boys. You're saying?
She's all the that stuff. None of it counts. None of it's real. I just told her she'd be better off waiting till high school.
Disgusting. It boils my blood and nauseates me. I know it does you too at home. And what great police work here. They knew all along that they had that backpack. They knew she never made it to school. And there's more to come. This was just bomb number one that they dropped, finding her things in the dumpster. Let's bring in someone with lots of experience doing investigations. He retired as a commander of the K-9 unit in the Nassau County Police Department. Lieutenant Mike Gould is with us. Good morning, Lieutenant. Ooh, what do you think as you watch this suspect in that interview room?
Yeah, good morning, Julie. Yeah, nauseating to say the least, of course. But, I'm often critical with hindsight watching interviews by police. Actually, in the Sarah Boone, in the same jurisdiction, I was a little bit critical with the benefit of 20/20 hindsight. This interview is perfect. If I was teaching a class in the police academy, I would use this video. The interviews are theatrical performances, and they have to be treated like that. Sometimes investigators don't realize it. They want to get to the facts. They come in hot. Sometimes they're not preparing for the interview. And you actually have to know the right interviewer. I might not be the right interviewer for this particular case because I'd probably strangle this guy. When he starts talking about snuggling and stuff, I cringe. So this is theatrical. The elements of the interview room, there's a soda, there's a water. Everybody is relaxed. There's no note taking. This guy, the main interviewer, is so relaxed, and he slips in his Miranda warnings. It's so I think it's perfect. I can't A+ on how they're presenting this or doing this interview. Perfect.
Oh, Lieutenant Gould, I hope this gets back to those investigators. I really do. They know there's been a lot of eyes on this case, people around the world watching, not just in America, but as you know, we have a national and international viewing audience. And so people around the world heard about this missing child and got invested in the case. And so to hear what great work they've done with your acknowledgement, I'm sure means a whole heck of a lot. When we think too about how nauseating it is, I would imagine that would be tough to hide. As you said, sometimes I'm sure some cases just shake you to your core. Like you said, you have to know if you can manage your temperament in the room with somebody. And I think same goes for prosecutors, defense attorneys, especially those who serve publicly. If you feel like, look, this just isn't something I can stomach, you got to pass it off to a colleague. How tough is that, Lieutenant, to try to separate your personal feelings from the task at hand?
Yeah, so as long as you keep in mind constantly the goal, so you're goal-oriented, you can then more easily put your emotions aside. But these interviews are a battle of body language, actually. So as I said, when they said snuggle time, or he said it's snuggle time, I cringed. I probably had some, if you were looking at me, you could probably observe that. So it's very difficult. This interviewer is, as I said, perfect. His shoulders are relaxed. His arms are open. He's lean. He's just relaxed. Where the defendant, he has never unfolded his arms. He, as you said earlier in your previous statement, it depends on the technique I was going to use. If I wanted to come in hot, maybe I would tell him to take his hat off and stand up, sit up straight in his chair. But they're just going like they're just best friends. They already know the answers. As you know, Julie, a good prosecutor, a good cop already knows the answers to the questions they're asking. So you can be your own lie detector, so to speak, because you can start watching how the person reacts to the facts. So again, classic, perfect. It's not easy, but these guys are both of them are terrific, because the other guy's got to refrain from talking, and he's got to be relaxed. So the space between the three people is about 6 foot. They're not in each other's space. Well lit, like a Hollywood set. Perfect.
Just perfect. Lieutenant Mike Gould, a great analysis from you to kick things off. Stand by kindly, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, police are questioning Stephan Sterns about the injuries that they noted on his hands.
An Ohio man charged in the gruesome death of his longtime girlfriend.
They was yelling, "She's dead, she's dead."
The stabbed 55 times murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
All season long, the greatest players in the world compete here.
I won't break. Welcome to the NWSL.
The NWSL is on ION. Find where to watch on IONNWSL.com.
We are so grateful for your company on this Monday morning. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. This morning, we're rolling out some newly released police interview footage of suspect Stephan Sterns, who's accused of murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto. She was the daughter of his girlfriend, Jennifer Soto. In the next portion you're about to see, the officers question him about the injuries they noted on his hands.
Has she ever talked to you about boys?
A little bit sometimes. A little bit.
Has she ever, because I asked Jennifer the same thing, has she ever disclosed to you about being sexually active with boys?
No.
Do you know if she's ever been sexually active with anybody in the past?
Not that I'm aware of. I heard there was some sort of incident when she was much younger where she did something with a phone or a camera but got scolded for it. She was very young. She didn't know. She got scolded for it though. But it's vague. It's just remembering what someone said offhand.
All right. What happened to your hand?
Flat tire. I haven't changed a flat tire in about 10 years. So I made a rookie mistake and had my thumb too close to where the jack and the frame meet. And it slipped and the frame came down on my thumb and pinned it between the jack, which I feel like I got off surprisingly light with that.
Ouch.
I yanked it free. You're not supposed to do that. It looks okay. It's got the worst of it. Some bruising under the nail.
What about the other scratches?
Courtesy of a janky tire iron and the road.
Did you bleed at all?
Yeah, this one had some blood and this one had some blood, but not much. It clotted fast.
Do you know what popped your tire at all?
I have no idea. Tire just started going floppy and then
pretty worn out or something?
floppier and then just completely freaking separated. Thank God we had a spare and a jack. Janky as it was.
So typically when changing a tire and stuff, you tend to get brake dust and dirty and all that.
Yeah, I'm positive that I breathed in some freaking brake dust or tire dust or something because I was coughing the rest of the afternoon.
What'd you end up doing to clean up or stop the bleeding and stuff?
Nothing, actually. Just
You didn't
went
get too
home
dirty?
and washed my hands and that was it.
Did your clothes get all messed up at all, or?
Not bad, surprisingly.
What were you wearing, by chance?
This. So I think I'm still wearing this. I'm still wearing the same clothes.
Oh, so you kept pretty clean?
Try to, I guess.
You weren't wearing a red shirt?
I was wearing a red shirt early in the morning. But I changed clothes later because that shirt was been a couple days old at that point. And the flat tire happened after that.
Did the flat tire happen before or
After.
after?
After. It was sometime afternoon between noon and like 2:30.
And you changed your shirt before or after going back to get the gate clicker?
I don't recall. Maybe after. I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm medicated. I've been medicated all week. My memory is just not as reliable as I would like it to be right now. You know, I was in a fog and half asleep that morning as it was.
On her own when you took her to school?
Yes.
Pants on fire, right? Let's bring in our guest, Lieutenant Mike Gould, to talk about this guy. Okay, Lieutenant, what signals to you any deception from this guy?
Just about everything. He remembers certain things in great detail. These investigators are playing him like a fiddle. You know, one of the things that he said that really jumped out at me, and I'm very psychologically oriented, he said, if I had time to kill, I would drive up and down 192 kind of endlessly. And I think that was a cue that he's subconsciously revealing. So he is guilt all over the place here, and these guys are going to bring it all out in very sequential questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. But yeah, no, as I say, he says, when I have time to kill. That was jumped out at me. And these investigators are amazing.
They are. That was eerie. I'm glad you said it, Lieutenant. It was eerie when he said that. And how about the body language when he says it? You know, he's slumped over, the arms crossed, that disrespectful backwards hat on in front of these detectives. What do you think of his body language? If you're in that room and you're kind of studying it, what's it giving off to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I look at things before and after. So everybody, including myself, I have tics. I talk with my hands. Right now, during this interview, I have to hold my hands down consciously. So
I have the same problem, Lieutenant.
Calculated.
Yeah.
So
yeah, always.
I'm going back and forth. Yeah, so if you know my before behavior, now we can look at body language in the interview room. So he's very calculated. He has an extremely good recollection of when the vape shop opened, what time, all of these things. When we get close to questions that the investigators know are going to implicate him in this crime, he starts to say, I'm medicated, I don't really remember. He remembers extraordinary details that I wouldn't remember about yesterday. So I think this is going to be a slam dunk, honestly. His arms never come across. The investigator's arms are open and they're leaning forward. And he has these, regardless of what he thinks, he has a lot of nervous tics that he's revealing when asked about his hands and how he was able to describe that in great detail, how those injuries occurred. So this is not going well for him, for Soto, thankfully, whatsoever.
No, you're so right, Lieutenant. It's going to get worse, too. There's more. Stand by, kindly, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to see police finally tell Stephan Sterns about the evidence they found on his cell phone. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. It is great to see you on this Monday morning. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. So we're watching a newly released interview with Stephan Sterns. He's accused of murdering his girlfriend's daughter, Madeline Soto. But police say it happened not before he sexually abused her. Those are the heinous allegations against this guy. And at this point in time, Madeline has not been discovered. But police know a lot more than they're letting on. They know about the child pornography that's on his cell phone. So what we've seen over the last hour or so has been the buildup, right? The buildup, getting him to talk, asking him what happened the day you brought her to school, all of that. What are the injuries to your hands? Now they're about to hit him where it hurts. They're about to hit him with the evidence they discovered on his cell phone.
What are you thinking about?
Sorry, I'm spacing out here. Long day, no sleep.
Who else has access to your car? Are you the only one that drives it?
Well, my parents have access.
But here in Kissimmee?
Here in Kissimmee, I'm pretty much the only one with access to it.
So safe to say you'd be the only male driving that Lincoln?
Presumably, yes.
All right, I want to get back a little bit to you saying she's not allowed to have boyfriends or anything like that.
She can have crushes. She likes them. That's fine.
All right, have you and her ever exchanged, do you guys exchange text messages? How do you guys communicate?
FaceTime. She'll FaceTime me at night when I'm not around before bedtime to say goodnight. I'm talking. Sometimes we don't even talk about anything. We'll just sit there doing our own thing and just with each other's faces on the phone. Just spending time, you know.
What happened? So the deputies made a comment. So what happened to your phone?
I have no idea what happened to my phone. I was pushing off doing this update for a while and I ended up trying to do it. I don't know what the hell, my head being in the state it was, I wasn't paying attention. I ended up somehow doing some sort of option that updated the OS, but it ended up like wiping my phone at the same time. Even just now, the phone that my dad gave me and set up for me, I literally just pulled it out of my pocket and the sucker was reinitializing again. So I don't know if it's just me and technology right now, or I'm just not paying attention, or...
Did that happen once to your phone, or how many times do you think you updated your phone?
I think I tried to update it twice, and I don't know what happened.
Okay, and from what I understand, that you gave the deputies consent to look through your phone. Yeah. You did, okay. And you voluntarily gave it to them so they could bring it here to do the extraction and stuff like that. Okay. What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages. Emails. Phone stuff.
Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pictures were on there?
Training card pictures. Lightsaber pictures. Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
Do you save pictures to your Google account?
Sometimes.
Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and...
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
Mm-hmm. And then sometimes when you reset your phone and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have
I assume so.
Do you have any pictures of you?
Probably. I mean, we went to Disney, took selfies on the train. She got back from Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures. Family events. I'm not as much of a shutterbug. Take them every once in a while.
Any other pictures that you think of? Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's your phone. And I'm pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person. And I don't want you to discredit yourself by saying you don't know about all the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So do you want to add to the list of pictures?
Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
I can't answer that question. My sole purpose right now is to see if I can find, and I'm really hoping you can help me.
Okay. Well, I'd like to try to help, but I feel like I should probably have a lawyer present at this point.
So you're wanting an attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That can happen. I want to let you know you're not free to leave. You're being detained, okay? Do you want to know what you're being detained for?
Yeah.
Capital sexual battery and possession of child pornography. So we're going to step out. If you need anything, please tap on this door. Okay? And there's going to be detectives outside that will be able to assist you.
Okay.
Well, good luck to you, Mr. Is it Sterns?
Yeah.
Stern.
They got him. They got him. Did you see that look of defeat on his face as soon as they left the room? Let's bring in Lieutenant Mike Gould, watching along, our law enforcement analyst on the program today. Lieutenant, you had been saying how these detectives did a masterful job in all of the questioning, the build-up. What did you think of the finish there?
Oh, it's, again, textbook. You know, when I was watching, I felt like it was a father-son, like a family conversation. Father-son, maybe the other investigator was his brother. It was empathetic, but to the point. He paused. The tempo of it was spectacular. They dropped the hammer, and it couldn't have been, in my view, I don't know how it could have been better. You know, and again, back to my point earlier, you have to know your strengths and weaknesses, right? So I've been described as loud, animated, and obnoxious. So I would not, although that's not true, I would not be the right interviewer for this. Unless this guy was from Brooklyn, then I might be the right person. So if you don't know that, everybody's got an ego. Everybody wants to run in there and be the one that does law enforcement that solves the crime. So as I said, the tempo of this guy looked like a fatherly figure or a priest taking a confession from somebody. So, and Soto remained, or Stern, I should say, remained just calm, collected, not dropping his hands to his head and crying. He's just, okay, I think I should talk to an attorney. Masterful piece of work by law enforcement.
I'm in agreement with you, Lieutenant, in agreement. And they did a beautiful job, too, as soon as he legally lawyered up, because this is the kind of little thing I'm watching for. Do they continue and push? Because I've seen that happen, and then that's a mess for prosecutors. But no, they didn't. They stopped right there, said it can happen. We'll leave you alone. Let us know if you need anything. They wished him luck. Very respectful, just so professional. And I'm sure that was very hard dealing with this guy who has allegedly done some of the most cruel, sick, disgusting, vile things. And how about how his demeanor, Lieutenant, really doesn't shift? You know, as soon as he realizes, like, the light bulb goes off in his head, like, oh no, they know, no, I need a lawyer. He didn't really seem that shaken up, did he?
No, not at all. And the investigator said he's intelligent. He is intelligent. He's intelligent and calculated. Anytime a question started to get towards guilt, he was able to shift the narrative with his medication story. So I think they did, as you said, they walked out of the room. They didn't press him because they don't need to. They have everything they need at this moment in time. Of course, there'll be evidence will be added as we go. But I think if this interview was played to a jury and described properly by the prosecution, it's very compelling in my mind. Like I said, it's like watching a lie detector test, only without the lie detector, just watching his consistent behaviors, his comments. He remembers he took pictures when she got her hair braided. That's weird. He didn't say he just took pictures of her because they were having fun at Disney. So to me, there's a lot of little subconscious psychological admissions here that will be brought out at trial, if it even goes to trial.
Yeah, great point, Lieutenant. Yeah, they're looking for the death penalty with this guy. So if it even goes to the point of a trial. Thank you for all of that. And there's more, Lieutenant. We've got one more clip. They're going to go back in that room and place him under arrest. We'll be right back.
Tonight on Court TV.
These are the big cases that everyone is talking about.
A lot of new developments taking place.
Shocking.
I know who killed John Bonet.
To say the least.
You cannot make this stuff up.
It's unreal. The scene of the double murders is behind us right here. Things are happening. The investigation is continuing.
Closing arguments with Vinnie Politan. Tonight at 8/7 Central. Only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We are watching the newly released video footage of Stephan Sterns' police interview before they located little Madeline's body. Now, we just saw him lawyer up. The detectives left the room, and now they're going to go back in and place him under arrest. And they're going to confiscate his clothing, going to take that in as evidence and give him a white jumpsuit. We've seen him wearing that before, haven't we? Let's go back in and watch.
Stephan, so what's going to happen now is we have a warrant to collect a couple of items from you, okay? So basically, this young lady here, we're going to swab your cheek, you know, we're going to take some of your clothes, stuff like that, okay? So she is going to take some pictures of you as well, like your hands, and we're going to ask you to take your jacket off so we can get your arms and all that stuff too, okay?
All right, so in the name of the state of Florida, all right, any sworn Kissimmee police officer, Osceola County Sheriff's Deputy, Orange County Deputy, sworn investigator of the State Attorney's Office of the Ninth Judicial Circuit Court of Florida, special agent of Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, or any sworn police officer, deputy sheriff acting under a mutual aid or cooperation agreement with the Sheriff's Office of Osceola County. Whereas before me, the Honorable Judge, it's hard to read his handwriting, of the Ninth Judicial Circuit of Orange County, Osceola County, a sworn written application affidavit search warrant has been made on this date by Detective Moore of the Kissimmee Police Department, assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division. And whereas the facts made known in this application and search warrant, there may be cause to certify and find probable cause to believe that certain evidence, to wit, DNA, genetic material, buccal swabs from you, Stephen Michael Sterns, blood, saliva, or epithelial cells to be collected from you, Michael Sterns, photographs and swabs of your penis, and clothing worn by you as of right now. All right, this is evidence. This is believed to be evidence of the felony crime that we've already talked about that took place in Florida, which is a violation of statute 7940114B and 8270715A, prohibiting the crimes of sexual battery, possession of material depicting sexual performance of a child.
And if you could put your hands out like this and turn them over. Do you want me to take off his watch? Yes, that'll work. And your hat also, please. If you can take off your shirt. Last sip of water before you go?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay.
Oh, please, thank you.
All of it?
We won't go on until we get the time.
Thank you.
Would you like some more?
Go on. Just unless I'm trying.
Okay, head out there, just wait with her. She'll get you a little bit more water, and then I'm going to check this room, and we will get out of here.
Wound up having to take off that stupid backwards hat after all. Let's bring back in Lieutenant Mike Gould for some final thoughts. Oh, Lieutenant, that sure didn't go the way he had hoped it would, did it? What'd you think there when they came back in? Do you think he was at all stunned at that very humbling process that needed to take place?
Yeah, Julie, he didn't look to be. He's very stoic throughout the whole interview. He wasn't very animated at all, even when pressed. Kudos to law enforcement. They did a great, they're so professional coming in. The technicians, the evidence technicians that came in, they respected his space. So with all of these things, and again, this doesn't have to be the smoking gun. That will come later with other evidence. But they have, to me, as I said, it was admission of guilt in a very subconscious way over and over again with certain behavioral tics that people can't control. I certainly can't control mine, as I said earlier. So you can. When he went for his glass of water 2 or 3 times, when the question was getting to the heart of guilt, so to speak. So no, this was a good one, a good day for law enforcement in this regard. Like I said, that whole team, you know, they're always about 6 feet away. They're not cramming. They're not getting into a space. And space is important when just talking to another human being. If you get too close, that could shut somebody down. Just perfect.
I'm with you, Lieutenant. Kudos to them. I really like how you said that. What a good day for law enforcement. And so they've got him behind bars. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, if ever. He's looking at the death penalty for this case. Things are as bad as it gets for him legally. Jennifer Soto, not charged, the mother. I want to ask you about her, please, Lieutenant, because there's this cloud of suspicion, as you know, surrounding this woman about what she knew, because boyfriend's living in her home with her daughter. She lied to police. We know that initially, when she initially had said that she went with him to drop her daughter off at the school, which we know never happened. So we know she's been dishonest. We know that she expressed knowledge that she may have known something was going on. There were some comments she made about, well, I needed to get a good night's sleep, so, you know, I go in my room alone and just leave her with him, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but what she said. So there are a lot of people who think that she knew exactly what was going on and didn't do enough to protect the child. Do you think we will see charges for Jen Soto in the future, Lieutenant?
Yeah, Julie, I certainly think she knows more than she's saying, for certain. But we all often talk about denial in these cases. You know, was it good judgment? Of course, it was horrible judgment to have her 13-year-old daughter sleep with a boyfriend. She should have been sleeping on the couch, or some version of that. So I don't know if it's going to rise to criminal activity or any conspiracy, or I doubt that, honestly, from what I can tell as we sit here. But yeah, she knows more, and they'll get that out of her. And there might be some charges of child abuse or something like that. But I don't. That's where I think it's going to go at the moment.
I appreciate that, Lieutenant Mike Gould. We love having you on this program. Thank you for all the analysis today. We'll see you very soon.